let me start with my horrifying story. It's a pretty uh, bad looking or like very hard looking story. So I was in Chandigarh Arts College doing my Bachelor of Fine Art from Chandigarh, and one of my teacher told me there are two cutting stone. One is when whatever you want to cut, you cut that, or other one is whatever the stone wants you to cut. You keep looking at the stone will tell you. So we started from there. So our story is similarly like the Dirty Ant stories was in a similar format where we didn't thought of doing movies and all that, but it happens because of the process. The process want us to go into all this thing. So we started in 2008 when recession hit. So there were very less opportunity. So we thought, let's open our own firm under incubation in NID. One fine day, I was sitting. One of my senior asked me, "Can you make hyper realistic mannequin in silicon for a set in Pune, religious set in Pune, Sadhu Vaswani?" So they wanted particularly in silicon because that point of time, wax hyper realistic mannequins were available in the market. So, but they wanted something more durable and less maintenance, basically. So he showed me this work and more of his work. This guy is Ron Muke. He is known as father of hyperrealism. He makes larger than life size and a scaled down version of sculptures, very realistic ones. So I said, okay, I don't know about it, but like I can achieve 80% of it. I just said like this, I don't know. And then we gone back to our studio when we started researching. The material was not available. Lot of problem we have faced. We took around 8 months to achieve one of our mannequin, which is a sample mannequin for them. And they really liked it. And then afterwards we got into. So these are the few mannequins which we made for Govindgarh Fort. These are Maharaja Ranjit Singh warriors. I depicted them like we've depicted them in this way. And this one is Bahubali for Ad Labs in Kapoli. This is Gandhi. And right now, this is in wax. So we started with the wax, the modeling bit, because oil-based clay was not available at that point of time. So for Gandhi, we actually sculpted the model. But there are two more ways in which we do it. There is life cast, in which we can directly take it out from somebody's face. And the 3D scanning, recently we started the 3D scanning with. So you can see all this like very, like, yeah, so like very detailed work. This one is from life cast. So yeah, and in this image, you can see we are taking out our piece from the mold. And that's how, then after that, we do painting bit. And painting in silicon is pretty difficult because that medium is very new to us. And it has like a watercolor and an oil in between, mid-op, because the paints are a little transparent. And our skin is basically transparent and translucent. You can see your veins and all. So there is a transparency there. So we have to achieve all those kind of things. And then the last bit is hair grafting. And again, it's a pretty difficult one because one hair we have to put. And that's the final Gandhi. Actually, Charkha is moving the Gandhi. But the illusion is Gandhi is moving the Charkha. So that's how we have an armature in the hand with the ball socket and all. So it feels it's moving. And then we started the movie thing, and I would like to call my partner.
So why we did the Gandhi, there's a story attached to it. So why, the hyperrealism did get that surprise factor when somebody walked in and saw it and they said, oh my God, this is so real. But, after that 30 seconds, it started looking like a dummy model. So we would have discussions that how can we increase the lifespan of that hyperrealism? And that's how we thought, why not? We tried animatronics. And in India, animatronics is very, very difficult. We have robotics, we don't have animatronics. Animatronics is more of amalgamation of technology and art, we don't look at art in that front. At least 15 years I've been in the industry, we are not looking at it. Okay, so the pregnant belly that you see in the first image, that was for Gangs of Wasipur, which I think we did 10 years back. And this was in 2018. And the challenge that we had with this pregnant belly was we developed the belly, but we didn't know how to stick it. And Richa was very, very kind to us because we literally scratched her back. And, because we tried different glues and silicone doesn't stick to anything else. So that was quite troublesome. Whereas in Shobita's case, this was shot in London. We were already shooting for Ghost Stories for the Bakan Banerjee. And Anurag called and he said, you have to make the belly. I said, okay. So we actually made the system in a corset manner, how you wear a corset. So this was sent to London. She wore it. And these were the pictures that were sent back to us. So people said that, you have to have a purpose in life. We didn't have any purpose in life. We were still trying to find that purpose. And I would say go with the flow. We did the mannequins. And one day, Rajiv and me were actually sitting and we were putting these mannequins together. And there were a lot of hands and cut legs all over the place. And he said, Zubi, doesn't this look like a bomb blast scene? We should get into movies. And I was like, we don't know anyone. And I would focus on this, that, when you are in an institute where you have so many disciplines, it's best to interact with each other because we backed our first project because of our institute. Even towards movies, we met this alumni again. And, he gave us Sadhu Vaswani Museum. Then we met another senior of ours and he said he's interning with Anurag Kashyap. And we said, can we meet him? And he said, I don't know, but I can make you meet the first AD. And we just took one cut head of one of the portraits from Sadhu Vaswani and laid it on his table. And he said, what is this? You're 10 years ahead of your time. And I the emotion that I had at that time was that, is he going to give me the movie or not? And he took out Gangs of Wasipur 1 and 2 and gave it to us. And that's how we got into movies. And here what you see, can any of you figure out what it is? A baby's foot, right? The foot is a normal toy. And so they came to us and they said, we want a shot where we want to show the movement of the foot inside the uterus. And it was very technical because the thinness of the silicone had to be there. And it's actually Rajiv Willow who's moving the foot. This is another image of the same thing in daylight. And it's hollow from below where you push the foot. And this is another one which was created for Ghost Stories where she has a miscarriage and there's a small fetus. So you can see the detailing over here. And the pencil is there just to show you the size. These are various animals that we created. Finding Fanny was the first project that we did where we had to make a cat. And honestly, we had never done any cats or dogs. So every project was different. It's like sitting for an examination where you explore, execute, implement, and you learn. And the learning is always there. It's still we are learning. This is a recent project that we did. Even the goat is checking out whether the goat is real or not. So this one is real, and that's the one we made. And this was made in 16 days. This is a Komodo dragon that we had made. I am not only going to talk about our success, but I would also want to talk about the failures because the failures are the ones which teach you the best lesson. So the Komodo dragon was done for Disney in 2011. And there was a series known as Oi Jessie. And they used a real Komodo dragon there. And in India, they were making it Oi Jessie. And they couldn't get the real Komodo dragon. So they said, why don't you try doing animatronics? We said, we don't know animatronics, but we can get somebody to do it. And we figured out this guy who actually would work with ATM machines. Slowly, it was like one more day. It went on to 1 month. The production was very angry. They said, now, whatever you want to do, you come to Bombay and you do it there. So finally, even in Bombay, he took about a week and a half. And he said, Zubi, now the Komodo dragon is ready. So we all got very excited. And Seher screams out my name saying, oh, now Zubi is going to get the Komodo dragon. And the Komodo dragon literally goes like, eh. And then there's smoke coming out of the butt. It was the most embarrassing situation in my life. And we went out, we all were very stressed out as to, already a month and a half is gone. There's a lot of money that has been put in. The animatronic guy just had a blank face. And me and Rajiv sat down and we had a discussion as to how can we do this. And we actually did it within 1 week in a puppetry format where you could actually have all the movements of the head and the tail and the mouth, including the goiter movement. So, yeah, so I think designers have their own way of problem solving. These are various dead bodies that we've created according to the script. And there's a lot of research that goes into it. So you need to know what happens if the body is drowned in salt water, what parts of the body swell up. If you've been shot by a bullet wound, what's the proximity, what's the weapon, how the exit would look and how the entry wound would look. So yes, I would say it's when you're doing Go, you also have to look into a lot of details. It's just not a reference image that you're copying. So we also do blood gags. So in the blood gag, it's connected to a compressor or maybe something like a pitchkari, depends on which part of the body the blood is coming out from. We've also made our own blood because we just finished another movie in March, which had a lot of prosthetics in terms of these blood gags. And the blood bottles are very, very expensive. So we decided that we should now create our own blood. So there was a lot of experimentation that happened in the studio, and now we have different consistency of blood. So these are character designing. So, prosthetics has a lot of places where you can apply in movies also. So it's very difficult to, put it down in 18 minutes. I've tried my level best. So this is character design. So you read your script, you analyze it, and then you kind of do a Photoshop creation, because whatever you create in silicon, you can't go back. There's no Control Z. So what you've made is what you get. And if you don't like what you get, you go back to 0. So, you have to be very careful. So what we do is we do a Photoshop image to show the director as to what the final output would look like. It also acts like the final grail for us. And what you saw was the monk's character, which was for Saas Bahu Flamingo. And then there was Jubilee, which is on Amazon Prime, where there was a dream sequence. And finally Rapta, where Rajkumar was converted into an old man. These are few bodysuits that we had made. This was very challenging because we completed the entire project in Ahmedabad from a tiny studio. But we did this in foam latex because silicone tends to get slippery. And foam latex in liquid form, you can't get it in India. So we had to actually send the molds to Utah. They took the casting and then they came back to India. So, materials is a big challenge for our work. This is basically, when you have to put a person into a character, you need to do different things. Sometimes it might be as simple as aging, or, this is a bodysuit that was created to make an actor look fat. So you can see the clay model. This is where we did the hair grafting, and then there's a zipper. So why we did the zipper was because only the frontal had to show. So we also tend to see, according to the script and the angle. And honestly, we learned how to look at the monitor only through the process of these movies. The first day on, Gangs of Wasseypur, we were just looking at the monitor and we didn't know what to look at. So you can see that. So we made two of them. One which was made in foam and stitched together, because that he would wear when he's wearing his shirt and, it's not visible. But we use silicone only where, it would be visible. This has been one of our favorite work. We did it in peak COVID. We made the legs for Ayushmann. And it's very necessary, we need to educate even the directors that, it's good to use prosthetics to get the actor into the skin, because you can't be possibly getting those legs in 4 months or 5 months, and neither can you go that fat in 4 or 5 months. Fatter, I think, would be easier. It wasn't passion, it wasn't talent, it was consistency, it was commitment, and something from within that said, don't give up. There were times, I won't lie, where we would see our contemporaries earning a good amount of salaries, and first would come and we would be panicking because we had to pay salaries. But there was something inside us which said, no, we're not going to give up. And we are going to go ahead. And this is just the beginning. Thank you.